the what used to be from 20 years ago, a 120 mile per hour drive. They're increasing the speed to 125, but the limit of the overall distance standard will remain unchanged. Do you know what that number is?
I do not. I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, 317 yards. So at 125 miles per hour, roughly 183 mile per hour ball speed, the spin rate is limited at 2200 RPM, the launch angle of 11 degrees. So that's negligible versus what it was 20 years ago. But they're increasing the ball speed like 6 miles per hour coming off the cliff face. The ball cannot travel more than 317 yards with a 3 yard tolerance. 317 yards. So this, I don't think the
317,
recreational
317 yards is
player,
a fun short par four.
well, the recreational player for all the wailing and gnashing of teeth, I really don't think it's going to have that much of an impact. And then of course the last thing was a week or so ago, people said, oh, but you have to, you're going to take that difference on every club, and now you're going to have to hit this bar, this club, this club. How many recreational players? And again, I was a pretty good player at the time. I was a single digit handicap. I literally play 3 times a year now. I just too much going on. It's my own fault. I should make more time to play, but um, I could still go out, and if I'm hitting it okay, scrape it around and shoot around 80. So, but the recreational player who's just out there having a good time, how many of them know how far they hit their driver? Maybe less than a percent. I mean, if that, they're they're hitting the driver, and then they're getting their yardage, and then they're hitting the next club. And I mean, how many times do you go play a par four, dude? And out of 10 times on that par four, you hit the same club into the green every time. Twice, maybe.
Yeah. If I'm
So
lucky.
that's, yeah. And so they're basing, the people who are really worked up about this are based on data that is extrapolated from a machine that hits the ball in the screws
Yeah.
every time and has to hit it less than 317 yards at 125 mile per hour club head speed. The recreational golfer, that's why I keep saying there's not really going to be an impact. Yes, you might lose a yard or two here or there. It will be negligible and not noticeable. You might on a par three have to dial in your iron play a little bit more, but that's okay. You know, people are talking about, oh, everybody's going to have to build new tees or everybody's going to have to move up a tee. What? That's okay. Do that from time to time. Mix it up, play from different tees when you go. That's the whole reason that we, as golf course architects, want to provide different tees and greens that are big enough for different pin positions and different angles and fairways with different ways to play a hole and hazards that line up, and you can challenge them or not. You can play away from them, and there's risk and reward. Now, all these things go into it. We're not just throwing something on a piece of paper. And I really don't think, for all the beating they've taken, that the USGA and the R&A just pulled these numbers out of the air as some people would suggest. Now, where did they get the numbers? I don't know. I mean, maybe some of them are arbitrary and they work back to the numbers, but they say they've got the data to back it up. So unless it's proven otherwise, I mean, I'm willing to accept that. But it's not like they're saying everybody's got to go back to a gutta percha ball or a feathery and hickory shafts. So I don't think everybody's really worked up about the recreational golfer. I don't think, and I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think the recreational golfer is going to see that much of an impact. Definitely not enough to drive them away from the game. Hell, it might be enough that they say, wow, I'm playing from spots I've never played from before on some of these holes. I kind of like playing different tees from time to time. Wow, this hole's really different. This is a lot more fun than just playing the same tee every time. We used to go play a golf course back when I would play more often. And from time to time, we would play it from the forward tees, and all the par fives were par fours. It sounds like, oh, that'd be easy. It wasn't,
No.
because now you're hitting balls in places where you've never hit it before. You're having to lay up on some places and really think about where you're laying up to. And and where the pin is, and do I want to hit it over here or hit it over there? It's a lot of fun, and it make it the thing about. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of rolling over you, not giving you a chance to talk, but the thing about golf is, at the end of the day, if you walk off the golf course and you think, I had a good time, I can't wait to come back, either because I like this golf course, I met some new people when I was playing, or, I really think I could do better than I did. I got to come back and try to improve. And that's the beauty of the game of golf, that it can attract people from multiple generations. You can meet people that you never would otherwise meet, and now you have something in common, and everybody wants to get better. And I'll make this point real quick because you helped me with this poll. Um, and a few other Will Bardwell and a few other people helped me
Hmm.
push this poll out. Guy Cipriano from Golf Course Industry Magazine did as well. But I sent out a tweet a couple of weeks ago with a poll, and it just said, if you had your choice, would you rather have 8 extra yards off the tee or average, I think, 6 fewer strokes in a round of golf? I can't. I ought to have that in front of me, but I can't. But it was something to that effect. 95% of the respondents, or maybe 96%, said, "Oh, they would definitely rather lower their average score." And that is what makes golf appealing to people. It's a challenge, and they want to go out there and they want to get better. Nobody ever says, by the end of this year, I'm going to hit at 317. But a lot of people do say, by the end of this year, I'm going to break 90, or I'm going to break 80. And so all this just strange focus on distance, 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 really, I don't know. And again, it just makes me wonder, and I'm sure people are going to come out and accuse me of taking a side. I'm really not taking a side. Like I said, I don't have an opinion. This really doesn't impact my profession per se, because if we have to add tees, then we add tees. If we have to add more land to lengthen holes, we add more land to lengthen holes. We respond to what the client needs, and ultimately what the end user, the golfer, is demanding. We can dig into all the little subsets of all of that, but at the end of the day, does it impact my work? Probably not that much, but I also don't think it's going to impact a recreational golfer that much.
You touched on several things there that I wanted to get into that, a rollback or a limiting of this amount just at the highest end, that's not going to significantly change the way you think about routing holes and landing areas from